How different website would be if you create it for 1K, 5K, 10K or 20K. I'm going to talk about the case when you don't create it by yourself, because in this case all you spend is just your time and almost no money. I'm talking about the case when you hire an agency or a freelancer. So let's start with 1K. What you can get is a template-based website that you would buy for, let's say, I don't know, $50, $100, maybe $500 or something, and then the rest of the money you would spend on hiring some freelancer or agency, help you with refining the texts, writing maybe the text, or maybe you can write the text, but they would create illustrations or layouts. They would customize it in a way that would look more interesting, less generic. Next one is going to be 3K. It will already be something where you can add your creativity with the layout, fonts, images, illustrations and stuff like that. Just in general, play a little bit more. And that would be probably good if you have the money again, because if you don't, better stay with the template. That's enough. Let's say in 1 to 3 years you want to upgrade it, you can do that. So you can go to the same or other agency and they would, based on this website, create you something better. With 5K you would get almost something that is similar to the 3K. Again, each time you add more money, you get something very similar to what you would get with a template-based website for 1K, but a little better. What can be better is very subjective, because you can decide what can be better. For example, you can hire a photographer and spend all the money, all the, like, I don't know, 5K or, like, you know, let's say 4K just on a photographer that would create you very stunning, super high quality photographs, and you would just have a very clean, minimalistic, white website with a little bit of text. For example, you could spend this money on copywriting instead of the photographs, or you can spend the money on illustrations and copywriting, and together that would be also a good combination. Or maybe you would spend this money on animations. There are many different components of what can be added to this website. For example, let's say a car equipment. You can either get a full equipped car, but again you would pay like a full price, or you can equip it in the way that you want with your unique things. And this is the key moment, the key idea that I want to say. If you choose a good agency, they would recommend where to spend this money. So yeah, for 5K you would get slightly more thought through everything. With 10K, very similar. Let's say you need 10 sections and you need 10 illustrations for each section. So with 5K, each illustration would be very simple, very generic, maybe, I don't know, not that unique, interesting, and about your brand. And with 10K, what you can do is have the same 10 sections, but each illustration would be like, wow, this is unique. This is about your brand, about your service. And people who visit this website, they would see that, wow, I believe them. I see that they are high quality. I want to choose them. And that's the main difference between like budgets. Each hour spent more, each hour paid more, worth it like 100%. But again, this is more about how much money you have and how much money you're willing to spend. 10, 20K, you would expect from agency something that is like all responsibility would be on them. So which means they would create all the ideas, all the sections, all the texts, all the images, all the illustrations without asking you. Let's say with 5K, even if you choose the same agency again, they would just simply not have time to create all that you need. You would still need to cut on something that you want. And of course, there are like websites that are much more expensive than 20K, like Amazon or something like that. I guess they cost like millions of dollars, to be honest. And even though they don't look like they do, and if you want to recreate something like that, you would probably also spend a lot of money. Maybe not millions of dollars, but hundreds of thousands of dollars. And if anything I said resonates with you and you also need help with building a product, mobile app or website, SaaS solution, brand identity, I would love to help. If you want to find my contacts, it's in the description of this video, and we can schedule a totally free consultation meeting, discuss whatever you want. I would love to help.